Believe away. Ding 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 ding. Falei Nightbot, falei Lucarelli. Hoje teremos Patch Notes. Patch Notes. Quando começa? Começa quando começa. Daqui a pouco. Tem muita gente chegando pelo YouTube, hein? Que é isso? Lembrando que as lives são na Twitch agora, mas quando é Patch Note é no YouTube, tá bom? Valeu, Webster, Nero, Sirius98, Fera, Coons, Neco, Caio, Gahel, Paulo, Michael, Neco Girl, Klein, Dragon, Stefano. Não, vai ter facecam daqui a pouco. Salve, galera. Será que teremos novos gods anunciados hoje? Falei Michael Martins. Isso não é para Xbox, né? É. Passeando de helicóptero num deserto qualquer. Todo mundo... Passar as férias na Sibéria quando o Natal vier. Comprar cruzeiros importados com... teremos patch de skins. Falei Daniel, falei Class 2. Poderiam lançar mais um Deus juntos, sim. E aí, Jonathan, falei Davi. Tá dando erro de conexão, Stefano. Aí é foda. Sou aquele chato, Arcans of Glory. Né, não? Lembrando, pessoal, que tá pelo YouTube que, né? As livestreams são pela Twitch, twitch.tv/tvserious. Só que dia de patch note, campeonato, coisas do tipo, a gente coloca no YouTube também. Falei, Biel Edson, obrigado pelo seu superchat. Eu tô sem alerta sobre o superchat na tela, mas obrigado, deu pra ver aqui pelo chat. Tá tudo bem comigo e com você. Bom dia. Começou o Smite Masters. Não, Smite Masters não. Você tá viciado, Sirius98. Conhece o Ring of Legion? Já sim, Dragon. Já fiz até live dele. E aí, Yuri, aceita café? Eu já tomei meu café. Pode ficar à vontade com o seu café. Tome seu café à vontade. Fala aí, Vittorio. Just go when she's on fire. É. E aí, Sir Black? Bom dia, Mini Moon. E aí, Lefs, Vitório, Richard Neal. Tá na Twitch, sim, estou na Twitch. E aí, Maximilian. Você joga mais pelo controle do Xbox? Não, eu jogo no teclado e mouse. Bom dia, prima. Recebi notificação no canal da Heres como o título Smite Masters. É porque tá bugado. Você vê anime, Sirius? Assim qual? O último anime que eu assisti foi Dragon Ball Super. Qual personagem você acha que tá merecendo skin? Isis. Que isso, Wellington? Você tem manteiguiga? Que é isso? Ok, aqui estou. Tô com a mesma camisa de ontem porque eu tinha tomado banho antes da live de ontem e eu não tomei banho ainda, né? Então, pelo amor de Deus, né? Não venham me chamar de pessoa que não toma banho. E aí, Mugi, não imaginou que eu faria live? Sempre dou um jeitinho. Você continua fazendo builds? Fala aí, Mimu. Eu tô dando prioridade para builds de deuses novos. Mas eu continuo fazendo builds sim. É porque eu comecei uma nova série, que é uma série de builds, só que é uma série onde eu faço uma build e pergunto para as pessoas, quem é esse deus? Aí as pessoas tentam descobrir qual deus que é. Aí no outro vídeo, que é a próxima build que eu vou fazer, eu ponho a resposta do deus que é, entendeu? Aí eu explico, olha, essa build aqui funciona bem na Artemis, por isso daqui, etc e tal. De certa forma é um vídeo de build, né? E aí eu coloco o desafio da pessoa tentar adivinhar de quem que é aquela build ali, e aí depois eu explico por que que funciona. É basicamente juntando um no outro e fazendo uma série diferente. Agora, quando lanço um deus novo, aí sim eu faço um vídeo de teste de build, depende da situação, eu vou lá, jogo uma partida e tal. Patch agora, 20 minutos. O que você acha da Herese ao invés de gastar o tempo fazendo 8 skins e patch? É, podiam melhorar, né? Nightbot. E aí, Supreme? As caras de sono. Nem é sono. É alergia, eu tô com alergia. Minha orelha tá toda empolada. Tive que tomar um antibiótico. Antibiótico não, xarope. E aí, lógica? E aí, Felipe? Faz série X1 na bronze com desafios. E aí, Junior Moraes? Falei, Roger. E aí, Caio, beleza? Hoje ainda tem live às 18? Tem, isso daqui é live rapidinho, só pro Patch Note, depois eu vou voltar a trabalhar. Tá esperando esse Patch Note, uma nova arena, mudanças na XP e tudo mais. O jogo vai atualizar hoje mesmo? Não. Voltou a fazer live no YouTube? Não, a live no YouTube é só quando tem Patch Note. Aí, mais tarde, 18 horas, continua sendo na Twitch. Ouvi boato seria hoje, já lança hoje, já atualiza, que isso? Falei, Vitório. Bom dia, Arthur. Tá bem, Edson? Tá esperando esse... então, esperando a arena, né? Salve Tecol e D. Será que a Harez vai transmitir na Twitch também, cara? Tem como melhorar a qualidade do Smite? Só aumentando os gráficos. Vai transmitir na Twitch também, ela vai transmitir só no Mixer, não. Você acha que a Harez ia ter as caras de fazer isso, cara? Se o sub não chega, Dots, vai ter que entrar em contato com o Gator, cara. Alguma coisa aconteceu. Algum bug bizarro. É verdade que a skin do Sun Wukong do ticket do ano passado é você? Pô, aquela skin é legal. Eu tenho ela na outra conta, mas eu queria ter ela na minha conta principal. E aí, Jonathan? Estou divulgando seu canal para uns brother aqui. Valeu, Cous. Se não campeão bom para jogar? Sim. Os gráficos no máximo ainda são... É porque ele é feito na Unreal 3, né? Não, assim, não que isso seja um grande empecilho, mas ele é feito na Unreal 3, então tem certas coisas que hoje em dia você tem nos jogos mais atuais, que são nas engines mais novas, tipo Unreal 4, você tem alguns efeitos melhor de física e etc e tal, que na Unreal 3 não tem. Então fica muito difícil você fazer um jogo bonito. E aí, Pedro, o Dembran tá massacrando a Harez. Joguei bem ontem, eu era o Raidinho, o Shibalank das últimas partidas da live. Falei, Amanda Dark, beleza? Jogou bem sim. Vai ter nova aventura? Não sabemos. Por que uma nova arena, Sirius? Houve um boato? Não, eles mostraram um designer de uma nova arena uma vez. E até hoje nada. Essa foto do Pet Notes parece uma deusa voodoo. Pode ser a nova deusa também, né, cara? Pra fazer live no YouTube tá ruim. Está cheio de propagandas. Como assim cheio de propagandas? Falei, Alexandre, beleza? Falei, Jennifer. Você acha que o Xenobog precisa do buff ou nerf? Ou tá balanceado? Tá balanceado, mas eu acho que tá bugado. O dash dele na parede. Tem gente falando que é a skin da Morgan. Não, o Smite sendo feio, ele já é mais bonito que o LoL, entendeu? Então, tipo, é muito mais bonito que o LoL. Então, acho que não é questão de gráfico, é questão de modelagem, eu acho. Eles precisam modelar melhor, entendeu? Os personagens. E a infra? Patch Note eu avisei, né, Cogirl? Não fiz X1 com batata, não. Sou novo no canal e novo no Smite também. Fala aí, Pedro Henrique Marques Sampaio, beleza? Pararam de fazer as dublagens para os novos deuses? Sim. Pararam de dublar. Que dia que vai ser X1 contra Minces? Eu vou fazer X1 com os VIPs. Tá transmitindo pelo Mixer? Não, eu não faço lives pelo Mixer. Talvez um dia eu precise criar um canal lá para transmitir o campeonato mundial. Mas eu não faço live pelo Mixer. Eles poderiam mudar a Unreal Engine do jogo? Eu não sei como funciona o Necro Senpai, mas alguma coisa a Epic deve ter feito, né? Pra poder migrar, né, um jogo da Unreal 3 para 4. Não sei, deve existir alguma ferramenta. Eu não sei programar. Mas eu queria ver o Smite migrando para Unreal 4. Você tem manteiga? Como assim manteiga? Como assim para os VIPs? É pro pessoal que é VIP na Livestream, subscribe, essas coisas. Patch Note vai ser sexta-feira. Vai ser sexta-feira às 12, meio-dia, enfim. E aí, hardcore. Não sei se existe uma ferramenta de migrar um jogo para uma outra. Porque, tipo, é a 3 pro 4, né? Enfim. O que mudaria o Smite indo para Unreal 4? O jogo seria melhor otimizado, porque o Unreal 4 é a engine mais recente. Então, em questão de desempenho, desenvolvimento de engine, por ela ser mais recente, a Epic Games está trabalhando nela. E ela vai se comportar melhor nos equipamentos mais novos, enfim. O jogo teria mais recursos de física, teria mais recursos gráficos, seria muito mais fácil para eles criarem. Enfim, tudo pode melhorar porque é uma engine mais nova. Além de ter mais recursos, ela é muito mais avançada em questão de tecnologia, de otimização, de você ter mais. Você ter uma margem maior para poder imaginar que essa engine vai evoluir, que mais para frente ela vai rodar melhor, que vai ter mais recursos e tudo mais. A Unreal 3 já tem mais de 10 anos, ela já acabou, entendeu? Não é uma engine que a Epic Games trabalha mais nela. Então, tudo que ela podia entregar, ela já entregou. A Unreal 4 não, ela é mais nova, eles ainda estão desenvolvendo. Um exemplo disso é você ver o que eles estão fazendo com o Fortnite, entendeu? A, a engine do Fortnite é a Unreal 4. E eles ainda estão desenvolvendo o engine. Então o Fortnite está apresentando recursos novos a cada patch que eles vão colocando ali. Isso daí são tudo recursos que eles vão colocando no engine e eles vão aplicando dentro do jogo, entendeu? Volta a fazer live no YouTube, só de patch no... Mas eu tô fazendo live no YouTube também, lá no canal TV Serious. E aí, Gabriel Ribeiro, beleza? A Unreal 3 é bem antiga. Ela saiu na época do PlayStation 3. Na verdade, ela foi a engine predominante na geração do PlayStation 3 e Xbox 360. Você acha que seria legal uma nova física no Smite, por exemplo, os personagens conseguirem subir em pequenos objetos? Não. Pro Smite não funciona. Como ele é God no X1. Kali. Pro Smite não funciona. Fala Spectro. E aí, João Vitor, você acordou agora? Não sei, né? Eu acordei já tem um tempo. Sim, Caio Freire. E aí, Bruno Jorge? Mano, tipo, é vergonhoso porque até jogo mobile já tá saindo na Unreal 4. Jogos mobiles que estão saindo aí estão saindo na Unreal 4. É claro que é a versão dela para dispositivos mobiles, né? Mas você vê que a galera tá produzindo agora só pra Unreal 4, cara. Ninguém quer saber mais da Unreal 3. A Unreal 3 tem certas limitações. E aí, Zatarok, beleza? Acho que rolaria de fazer um upgrade. Você acha legal se eles colocarem Jesus no jogo? Seria interessante. Tem build de rama no canal? Tem. Build de meta de dano mais penetração do Kukulkan fica bom? Mas como seria uma build de meta e dano? Tipo... Vai vir mapa e novo campeão nesse novo patch? É o que eu espero. Não sei se vai vir exatamente. Mas é o que eu espero que venha, né? E aí, Mugi? Eu tô sem alerta pro donate do YouTube, mas eu tô vendo no chat do YouTube. Vai vir só skin? Não. A gente tem bastante tempo ainda. Deixa eu procurar alguma coisa aqui. Pra que a gente não fique aqui, né? Quer ver? Vamos... né? Procurar alguma coisa aqui. A gente tem bastante tempo. YouTube. Vamos procurar aqui. Unreal 4 Mobile Games. Se você ganhar um código de skin, teria como me dar? Sou novo no Smite, nível 18. O Series 98, eu tô sorteando, cara. Inclusive hoje de tarde, na live das 18 horas, vai ter sorteio da skin do Fenrir. Coloca música, não posso colocar música no YouTube. Falei Gabriel Castro, falei Arcana. Você normalmente compra gemas? Não, não compro. Ó. Top 15 Unreal Engine 4 Upcoming Games for iOS Android 2017. Daqui já é um pouco antigo. E aí, Gustavo Henry, lembra sim. Vamos acompanhar o top 15. Por que minha internet fica no YouTube e na Twitch só fica travando? Eu não sei, Ricardo. Você tem que dar uma olhada. E aí, Guilherme Saturno, beleza? Vamos ver os games que estão chegando na Unreal 4. Isso daqui é para mobile, tá? Isso não é para PC, vale lembrar. Cara, isso é zoado demais, velho. Você pensar que tipo um dispositivo... Se bem que dispositivo mobile hoje em dia, né, não quer dizer nada. O dispositivo mobile hoje em dia, às vezes, tem muito mais processamento e gráfico do que... processamento gráfico do que um PC. Fala, Arthur, esses novos chips aí que tem hoje em dia. Mas de pensar que você... Hoje em dia tem jogos assim em celular... É, Spectro? Só no 5.11, 5.14? Tenta uma parceria com o DJ ou algo do tipo pra música. Sirius, não vai dar strike na live, não? Mostrar esses vídeos aqui? Não. Olha isso, cara. E aí, Itália? Valeu, Gabriel Castro, muito obrigado. Na verdade é pra Arcana, não é pra mim não. Então, obrigado pra Arcana. Tem certeza que essas porra é pra mobile, velho? Como assim, velho? Qual é o jogo? Ah, não peguei o nome. Só tô vendo alguns jogos que vão sair pra mobile na Unreal 4. que limita o mobile ainda é a resolução, cara. Você tem que jogar numa tela pequenininha assim, aí o jogo é feito para ser jogado numa tela pequena. Olha isso, cara. Olha esses gráficos, velho. Rotações que você viu no vídeo de Zeus, suporte no Mi. Cara, as rotações estão uma bagunça. Vai acompanhar 3 meses que vem, vou. Mano, é zoado isso, cara. Agora vamos ver tipo o Real 4 Games. Um ano atrás. Ah, mas aí é foda, né? Que tipo, PC é outro... Esse é o patch note ainda não, daqui a pouco. PC é outro nível, né, cara? Vocês viram que vai sair o novo Call of Duty, vai ter modo Battle Royale? E aí, Ryodan, patch note. Enfim, cara, eu apostaria numa mudança de engine. Não pra ter gráficos desse jeito aqui, entendeu? Mas pra você ter pra você poder trabalhar melhor. Acho que ficar trabalhando na Unreal 3, chega uma hora que você chega no limite da engine e não vai ter muito o que se fazer. Sabendo que o Xi arrumou um namorado, não sei. Qual o motor gráfico do novo God of War? Eu não sei, eu não pesquisei. Deve ser alguma coisa própria deles. Vamos pesquisar aqui. Valeu, Gabriel. Deixa eu ver, vamos pensar aqui, vamos pesquisar. God of War Engine.
Gostaria de me servir. Há muitos benefícios. Só não
Zero.
posso garantir seguro de vida.
Valeu, Zero. Obrigado pelo seu sub. Aí, ó, o Zero pegou o sub pelo Gator, cara. Zero, obrigado mesmo. Vamos ver aqui qual é o motor gráfico. Eles criaram uma engine específica para o jogo. E aí, Wellington Bispo. Valeu, Zero. Obrigado pelo seu sub. Galera, o Zero deu sub de graça lá na Twitch. Exclamação Quest pro pessoal que quiser dar sub de graça aí. Possível o Smite ser vendido? Difícil. Gosto de Red Dead Redemption. Nunca joguei, mas não sou fã de jogo desse estilo, não. E aí, Rim, beleza? Valeu, Zero. Eu não gosto de jogo desse estilo de GTA, Red Dead. Eu gosto de jogo de bonequinhos que competem com outros bonequinhos. Por que não joga mais Arena of Valor? Já lançou o Flash. Falei Michael Martins. Eu tô esperando o Warsong sair. Smite vai falir. Se eu tenho 5 uvas, jogo fora 2 peras e 4 laranjas, quantas bananas sobraram? 18. 18 bananas. Pô, esse jogo de mundo aberto é mais legal. Ah, não é meu estilo de jogo, não. Esse patch vai sair quando? Não sabemos. Eles devem anunciar hoje, daqui 2 semanas, né? A build de dano que eu falei pro Gokan seria... Bota... Pingente, orbe, gema, lança de isolação, livro... Ah, funciona. Vai comprar um novo código pelo Battle Royale? Não, acho que não. Pelo Battle Royale, não. Enfim. Mas é interessante a gente ver como é que vai ser, né? Será que semana que vem já chega? Mas eles falaram que ia dar um tempo maior entre os pets. Eu não curto COD. Call of Duty. E aí, Merliandos. Não, vai começar agora. 3 minutos. 4 minutos, quase. O que você acha de bota roxo ou botar 2 penetrações de porcentagem em número? Olha, pela experiência que eu tenho no Smite, principalmente nesse momento, eu acho que compensa mais você ter a penetração por porcentagem, só ela, entendeu? E aí, Leandro Sintra. Porque querendo ou não, a penetração ela só vai funcionar mesmo se você fizer um personagem full dano. Ela só vai funcionar mesmo se o adversário fizer defesa. Se o adversário não fizer defesa, a sua penetração, seu dano real, normal, né, enfim, natural, já vai bater muito no personagem que não tem defesa. Porque os personagens hoje em dia não tem muito HP. Então você já vai dar um dano ridículo no cara com ou sem penetração. Você faz a da porcentagem para lidar contra quem faz defesa e acabou. E aí, patrocínio. E aí, Junior Oliveira. O que achou do Xenobog? Achei legal. Tá bugado, mas é legal. Terra precisa ser nerfada. Será que eles vão nerfar ela? Pode ser que sim. E aí, Léo Santos, hoje eles vão apresentar. Já jogou Heroes of the Storm? Já sim, já trouxe diversos vídeos pro canal, inclusive eu vou voltar. Eles vão buffar o Apatch, sim, eles deram um spoiler sobre isso. E aí, Gabriel Felipe? Vai, Gabriel Felipe, você sumiu, cara, aconteceu. Me ajuda a montar um PC com R$2.500. Fala aí, Muriel, manda pra mim no Face. Lá na Pichal provavelmente tem um PC bacaninha. Aí eu posso dar uma olhada pra você lá. Tem vaga no seu clã? Tem sim, eu abri ontem. God novo, é isso mesmo? Vamos ver. Sabe qual classe ela é? Não, isso daqui parece ser uma skin. Mas eu acho que hoje eles devem pelo menos falar que vai ter um... Sei lá, eles devem apresentar alguma coisa sobre deuses novos. Você curtiu os zombies do COD? Não, eu não jogo COD. Faz um X1 de cérebro. Não sei, vamos ver qual vai ser meu próximo X1. Talvez eu jogue um X1 na live. Essa é a Morgan? Tá parecendo, né? Loki é ruim em Ranked? Depende, você tá jogando o quê? Conquista? Qual que é o time adversário? Depende muito. Fala, Lucas Silva, beleza? E aí, Luan? Tá usando óculos agora? Aí sim, eu também vou mandar fazer um óculos pra mim. Vamos ver, galera, o patch note, então. It's time. Divine Prison. Que isso? Skin do Sobek? Ah, não. Mais skins. Dragon's Light. Skin da Morrigan. E aí, Hugo Medeiros, beleza? Skin da Scylla. Dragon Queen. As novidades eram essas? E aí, Paulo Ramos.
It's Dragon's Fortune, that's what we're calling this patch, and trust me, it's going to be a good one. You just got a preview of some of the awesome skins we've got in store for you, but of course we've got some item balance, some god balance as well. But we'll get to that in a moment. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. We're not going to go completely in depth right away, but what we've got in the skins department to start us off. And first one I got to show you is this Nox skin. It's going to be a lot of fun coming to you.
Skin da Nox.
Electric Dream Nox. One of those nice little EDM skins for you. Nox bumping it in the mid lane or in support. If you're a fan of Dardes and the European side of the SPO, you can play Nox anywhere you want to. Next up is Dragon Queen Scylla. This one should probably not look good in your base model. And now you can with Soothsayer the Morrigan. Dragon's Light Sobek is the one that I might spoil it for you guys. I'm the most excited for in 5.9. This skin is awesome. A whole new set of stuff for this skin. Can't wait to go in depth with this with a couple of the artists later on in the update show. But Sobek is he's looking good, and he's got a nice big model now that I think people are going to really like. And then of course the Sobek Mastery update as well. A lot of times when we go in to get some of these cool skins, we were able to get their masteries updated at the same time. Did it for Sobek here, and he's looking good, as the Crocodile always is. That's your preview for the skins, but make sure you check out what we've got coming up for the rest of the update show, as well as what our other game is doing. Paladins, they've got a LAN going on right now. If you can hear them, that's because they're just across the studio from me right now. If you want to check out their LAN, their Masters LAN, it's mixer.com/Paladinsgame. And if you want to stick around and watch the rest of the update show, and then
balance section. Focus
on this week. So we have a lot of changes coming into
the game.
This actually has quite a few item changes as well as god changes. We just saw the LAN. We were able to talk to a lot of the pros while they were
Caiu a live?
Some of their feedback about certain items and certain things that were going on in the game. We'll be making changes from starting now towards the mid-season, trying to adjust some of those things, as well as looking at a few characters
Caiu a live?
Or just kind of needed some love. We have a few characters getting slight tweaks to make sure that they're a bit more viable in Conquest or have less frustration.
Okay, well, I guess we can begin things straight away then with Evolved Soul Eater. We're going to start with items as always. Evolved Soul Eater.
Não caiu a live duas vezes,
when this item actually goes all the way through and gets the buff online with the evolution, you're going to get an increased ability lifesteal from 10% to 15%. So a bit of an increase there, a little bit underwhelming before.
Yeah, it was a bit underwhelming before. When you bought it, there were other items that gave you sustain.
Olha, aumentaram o lifesteal da habilidade do Devorador de 10 para 15%. Gente, a live tá rolando. Que é isso, velho? Para com isso.
This item, which is the really unique thing about it, the fact that it gives your physical characters ability lifesteal. Make sure that shines through.
Well,
como posso mudar a localidade Quest Mode? Só se você tiver VPN, ou
This is some pretty decent love here, we're going to decrease the stacks required to evolve this item from 10 to 7. But not only that, increased the protection per stack from 2 to 3. So I guess you still get the same amount of protection, if not more there.
Yes, it'll be one more at the end.
And then on top of that, decrease the amount of time taken to generate a shield from 3 to 2. Explain more to me about why we're looking at doing this.
So I think the big thing here is that we had this item was a bit too hard to stack up really reliably. By the time you actually built it, you're maybe a soul lane character, you'd gotten enough farm, you got your 4.
Essa aparência da Morgan na direita.
And then you go to the team fight phase, you might even win 1 or 2 fights. By the end of the game, you often didn't actually have this fully finished.
Sure.
And so making sure that players actually can get the finished portion of this.
Gente, a live tá normal. Alguém avisa o pessoal para F5 aí.
And the final tweak to the shield passes to make sure that you actually feel that when you actually get it fully evolved.
Okay, Hide of the Urchin, gonna get some love. We'll see how that works out. Stone of Binding, next on the list. Tonight we've seen little of, now and again in the odd game, but not often enough. And I think that's one of the reasons we're gonna see a buff to it this patch. And the port players almost be a little bit more aggressive and less on the defensive focus.
A little bit more on the offensive focus, a little bit less on the decrease on the defensive. But it's not all just defensive supports going away. We also have changes to Titan's Bane and Obsidian Shard coming in. and they are going to be...
Gente, dá F5, pelo amor de Deus, eu não sei o que tá acontecendo, gente. Reclamar que tá caindo não vai adiantar nada. Só dá F5, por favor, só dá F5, eu não sei o que tem que fazer se a live tá caindo, entendeu? Só pede o pessoal da F5, eu não sei. Ai, meu Deus do céu.
So lots of adjustments to tankiness in the game, a lot of adjustments to support itemization. Hopefully they all tie together to support players feel like they have a good amount of survivability still, but have options into utility and offensive choices.
Well, following that, Talisman of Energy, the next one on the list. Increase the radius of the buff effect from 55 units to 70. Not only that, we're going to increase the buff duration from 6 seconds to 8 seconds. And increase the max stacks from 5 to 6, so more mobility from this item over lasts a little bit longer.
Gente, eu não sei qual é o problema que tá dando, entendeu? Então, tipo, não adianta falar que tá caindo, ó. Vai cair de novo, eu não sei qual é o problema que tá dando. Sinceramente, eu não sei, velho. O que eu posso fazer? Não sei o que fazer. Vocês têm que me ajudar a te ajudar, né, cara? Você tem que me ajudar a te ajudar, ué. Eu não sei o que fazer.
Objectives, shredding towers, but it was a bit too much of a trade-off for the defensive side of it.
Vocês podem me ajudar? Eu não sei o que fazer, tá caindo, sei lá.
A little bit of love there.
Well, the next two, Pon already linked here. Sovereignty, first of all, is going to get a bit of a nerf. We're going to decrease the physical protection from 50 to 45, so 5 protection off there. And Heartward Amulet. We decrease the protection provided by the aura.
Sei o que fazer, cara.
To be clear, it's going to go from 20 to 15, so it's still the same stats for you.
Deve 5, eu não tenho o que fazer, entendeu? Algum motivo a live caiu e é isso, velho.
We saw, and we'll talk about this a bit later, but we saw magical damage was a bit low compared to physical damage, and so making sure that there's just less defenses on the map that brings to a team is important. Plus, when you're dealing with magical damage anyway, that health value is very important, and when paired together, that's a bit more synergistic, stopping magical damage. So slightly different tweaks based off like how they're actually used in the game, but largely just a slight tone down of the defenses provided.
Okay, so overall, like the aura is kind of being shifted down a little.
Como participa do sorteio daquela skin do Ferri durante a live na Twitch, o Grail.
Now what you mentioned is because, like, I guess they need to be a little bit weaker if we're going to be reducing protections overall, right?
Yes, they need to be a bit weaker.
Nossa! Diminuíram a penetração da ruína de titã de 20% para 15%. Daqui a pouco não tem nem penetração, velho.
And so the first change here you'll see is Titan's Bane base penetration reduced by 5%, makes it less effective on squishy targets just naturally. And then the next change is they're actually raising the threshold from 175 armor to 200. Which means that players need to build more protections for you to actually get the full 40%. And it still does scale to 40%.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's...
Tem que assistir a live, Drew. Vai ser hoje, ué.
We'll just go through those real quick. Decrease the base penetration from 20% to 50%.
Nossa, diminuiu a penetração da obsidiana também.
Protection threshold has changed from 175 to 200 magical protections now. So I guess it just means the scale has kind of like been shifted up a little bit.
Yep, if they are not hitting the threshold to start scaling up, you're going to have less penetration on them.
Okay.
And then over the course all the way up to the maximum amount of armor, which will be 200, that will then scale to the same 40%. But so they essentially
pois é, Gabriel Felipe. Toda semana eles estão mudando o jogo.
Solidly a lot of defensive and a lot of tankiness into their build. And characters who are very squishy, you'll often, that 15% will only really account to like maybe like 10.
Eu tenho que trabalhar hoje, Zatarok. Eu não vou fazer live direto, não. Vou terminar o patch note aqui, eu vou encerrar e aí eu começo às 18 horas.
You should be looking, if you're wanting to kill squishies, more these raw pen items that actually exist, the flat pen items, than this item.
And that's Obsidian Shard and Titan's Bane. Moving on then. Shoes of Focus are going to get a buff this patch too.
Yep.
Big one as well, Pon. 40 to 55 power is the increase here. I guess I'm going to just add on to this.
Se eu virar VIP, você me dá a skin da Scylla pra PlayStation 4 se você ganhar ela? Falei, João, depende, cara. Se eu ganhar ela, talvez eu te dê. E aí, Lucas Henrique, eu não posso te prometer nada. E aí, Gustavo Paula?
The first is that mages as a whole, we've been looking at the stats for like all the characters.
Você trabalha em quê? Eu trabalho com vendas.
Mages as a whole are actually kind of underperforming. We've had a lot of mage changes this whole season.
Olha, bufaram os sapatos dos sábios.
With certain items being really good, and then we tone them down. Certain other items are coming good, toning them down, making small shifts here and there. And just as a whole, the class is underwhelming. And we were largely looking at late game, and we feel like we've solved the late game space. There's a lot of cool items for them to choose from.
Sure.
But at their core, they were just underperforming as a whole. And this isn't to say mid isn't underperforming,
right?
Because mid as a role is doing quite well.
That's
for
specifically
themselves.
Conquest, right? Like mid is doing a good job right now, but the grand scheme of the game, mage is a little bit low.
Because so you can out for Hunter. We saw this often happening at the LAN as well, where players were choosing who they wanted to bring into the mid lane. And so it wasn't necessarily that mages were overperforming, it was that mid as a whole was overperforming, and we kind of looked away from all that.
Como faço para ser VIP? Você pode ser subscriber ou você pode... ou você pode fazer de graça pelo Quest Mode, exclamação Quest na Twitch. Vai dar uma passiva pra botinha, será? Eles vão melhorar o ping? Provavelmente não.
Making sure that it's more attractive of a choice so that people can go the CDR route or the pen route.
So it's now either a choice of cooldown reduction or penetration. You could go either way with that.
Yep.
Right. Okay. We'll see how that works out.
And we'll be watching all these changes super closely. Anything that affects the core strength of a
não é o dia todo hoje não.
We're going to be watching very closely to see the outcome.
Well, that's it for the item section. It's time to move on to the God section. But before we do that, if you didn't catch the start of the show, this is all the items that got changed. Buffs to all, what was that, 7 items there? No, can I even buff? Yeah, 7. Yep. And then 4 nerfs, mainly towards penetration and tankiness in terms of the auras that are available to you. Now, though, moving on to the God section.
Aquele patch na live do Smite onde disse que as lives seriam melhores vai chegar quando? Não sei.
Gods in the 8 and even in the Z column.
Yep.
I said Z too.
Yeah, you didn't say Z.
Gostaria de me servir. Há muitos benefícios. Só não posso garantir seguro de vida.
Valeu, João. Obrigado pelo seu sub e pelo Gator. A galera tá vendo subscribe de graça. Valeu, João. Muito obrigado, cara. Nossa, os caras bufaram muito o Apuio, velho. 60 para 90, 70 para 100.
Pretty big swing, that's 30 power, but there is a bit of a change as well to decrease the damage per corpse, however, from 60 to 160 is going to be 55 to 155, so it is a buff.
E aí nerfaram, ajustaram, tava bom do jeito que tava, aí bufaram, aí agora não tá bom do jeito que tava mais não. Zoada essa Hi-Res, velho.
Making sure that he's good in all modes was kind of our priority with this change. Other modes, you start at a higher level, so you often are able to get your explosion and be able to generate corpse immediately. But in Conquest, starting at level 1, you really have...
Dot, o seu pode ter bugado.
We felt like his identity as the zone control character is very valuable and pretty good in Conquest already, but helping him actually to do well in the first 1 to 5 levels was really important to actually help him succeed and get to the later stage of the game. He needs to probably get his Warlock staff online, get some health going, be able to bully people over the mid-harpies. And so increasing the damage of the corpse explode without any minions present helps him actually in the level 1, 2, 3 really help clear the wave and poke his enemy. Right. And then when he gets his corpses online, he can start comboing things, and then we tone down the combo potential so he ends about the same at max stacks of 6 zombies. So very focused change to Conquest, how he plays in Conquest.
Eles estão cagando, sei lá, mano. Não sei pra que essas mudanças no Apuio. Arrumaram o lag do Smite? Não sei. Falei, Miss Afro. Vai trabalhar que horas, Sirius? Já trabalhei um pouco mais cedo, vou trabalhar daqui a pouco.
A lot of feedback on him as well. How is he doing so far?
He's doing pretty good. He's doing. People are
tutorial você não tá conseguindo passar, Ed? Não sei. Olha Alice. Tutorial. Como é que passa o tutorial? Alguém que jogou o tutorial sabe como é que passa o tutorial. Que zoado.
So going through this list, a lot of it is very timing-based tweaks to make sure, or bug fixes to make sure that the gameplay experience is smooth. There was a bug where you tried dashing the wall and it would say that you could go into the wall, but you'd stop short of it or you'd immediately eject. There was also some post-fire timing on the ultimate that caused for when you land, you were a little bit locked out of things. So we've smoothed a lot of that over so that the gameplay...
Será que vai ter agora esse patch? Não sei. O que tá tendo de novidade? Até agora skins, alguns buffs, poucos nerfs e buffs, enfim.
Or slight tweaks to damage that when he combos his abilities, they feel good.
Well, quite a list then, boys and girls. We'll go through them nice and quick. You saw the general one already. We've improved the audio on the basic attacks. But crystallized
olha, estão bufando o Xenobog.
He's now going to be 50 to 70, so
trabalha com venda.
and increase the initial damage as well.
Caraca, estão bufando, velho.
It was 50 to 170, 70 to 190. Now it's the more reliable part of that portion. The original the end damage is still the same there. Vicious Barrage decreased the mana cost of this ability too. It was a little bit high, 80 to 100. Now going to be 70 to 90. Some adjustments there too. And then Into the Darkness. We made improvements to ensure players enter the wall when their target indicated they would, fix an issue where players would auto-eject from the wall in higher ping environments, and fix an issue where on-hit items like the Crusher were being procced twice. Ooh, was that happening?
So yes, so this is also a
arrumaram o bug, ó.
tweak to
Agora arrumaram o bug de que você sair automaticamente da parede se você tivesse com um ping alto.
And so that actually only affected
Dá bem, né?
I believe his one, and the Mercury made you look.
Ah, okay. And then after that, Into the Darkness, we move on to Living Nightmare, and that's going to have remove the
Ainda bem,
from
né?
this ability from 0.2 to 0. Not only that, we're going to decrease the minimum airtime from 1.2 seconds to just 1 second.
Caraca, os caras estão bufando muito ele, velho.
Yep, very quickly.
And then on top of that, decrease the maximum airtime. It was 3, it's now going to be 2.6.
Por que estão bufando ele? O personagem tá bom, velho.
Well, it means that when you select your target, so if they're across the map, there's like a if you choose someone close, you actually take less time. If you choose someone far, it takes longer.
Oh, so travel distance.
So essentially, travel time is now reduced.
Oh, okay.
So not only will you travel to your targets quicker,
I
but you'll
thought it was
also
like
be able to act.
Agora de novo vocês respondem. Estamos na expectativa de vir alguma coisa. Não entendi por que eles estão bufando ele.
99% sure. And now you have me doubting myself.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to clear it up for the fans at home too.
Tem de novo até agora skins e buffs e nerfs.
The shadow could result in the player colliding with a wall. This resulted in them flying into the air and being unable to move.
Yeah, if you land into a wall in Smite, you end up flying up into the air, which causes some fun videos sometimes. But this was happening pretty commonly because the AI shadow is kind of like a bot that can move really close to the wall, and then you get into the wall. That's been fixed.
Okay, and then finally, fix an issue where Chernobog could stutter on landing. So Chernobog, a lot of little minor adjustments to mana cost.
Estão bufando pra vender skin.
Pode
ser.
Clear of the early game, and then some bug fixes.
Yep.
In the grand scheme of Chernobog. We'll see how he continues to perform. Next up is Cucullum. Gotta get slightly nerfed, ever so slightly this patch. It's not monstrous, but it is something. The Berserk decreased passive power bonus from Berserk. It was 5 plus 2 per level. It's now just going to be plus 2 per level. So you lose the 5 that you initially started with. So it's an early game touch.
It really affects his whole game, but it affects his early game more. When you transform at level 2, your ability to like really pressure and take potentially blue buff or back harpies, really kind of poke against people, is pretty high. And that is largely due to the fact that there's a lot of physical power built into that transformation. 7 doesn't seem like a lot
Correção de bugs
but it is.
na Morgan?
Also has this kind of
Não sei.
like that bonus damage that he provides is actually very impactful.
Olha,
So toning this down so that
nerfando o Chulain, tem que nerfar mais. Quais foram as skins? Vai aparecer ainda.
Pretty solidly. He's still a bit underperforming. He's still not particularly.
Vai começar a bufar a Belona, já que a tier 5 dela. Será que eles vão bufar a Belona, cara?
So a bit of love for Langshan this week. It's going to be spot weakness, decrease the mana cost first of all. It's going to be 60 at all ranks now. Pin, we fixed an issue where this ability was not hitting the exact intended area. Center of the circle.
Yeah, like he throws it from his right hand, and so it was like 1 unit offset to the right from the targeter.
Okay.
And so now we fix it so the targeter's accurate.
So the target looks as accurate as the pin is now. Okay. And then the ultimate 9 turns blessing. This is a nice little buff for it too. The duration used to increase with this.
Caraca, os caras estão bufando o Elon Chain, velho.
1.2 second turn at all ranks. So an early game buff.
Se é porque o prêmio do novo evento da skin dele. Ah, entendi. Os caras estão bufando o Elon Chain, cara.
Also helps him combo in the early game. And then the mana cost reduction on spot weakness, that's an ability that as you get more and more chain basic attacks going, you activate this more and more often. If it costs too much, you end up running yourself very quickly. And so helping him actually stay in a fight for longer is going to help him a lot.
I think we're going to see a bit of a swing towards more Erlang with that one.
Valeu, Caio Bruno! Quem quiser ajudar igual o Caio Bruno de graça aí é pelo Galkbox.
Just ever so slightly.
Yeah, largely at the competitive level, he was a character that had a lot of good poke, a lot of good control over a fight, some survivability, and he could choose to be aggressive or defensive. And so he was kind of shoving other hunters potentially from being picked due to his ability to really box well with them.
Yep.
So very targeted changes to make him a little bit less of a priority pick. help other hunters get into the kind of meta.
So as you can see, the banner is going to go down a little bit in terms of play. It was 85, it's now going to be 75.
Hatchman nerfado.
295 at the top end. Not only that, though, mounted archery, that's going to get a bit of a change too. The ultimate. It used to have a slow on it, still
Sim, tinha que lançar bot só tanque, ô Broto. Concordo com você. Vou doar 2 girombas de cavalo pra você. Que isso, Gabriel Felipe? As que você usa? Como assim, cara? Não faço não.
Yeah, speaking of bringing some other hunters up into the spotlight.
Yeah, and this is
a punch é counter de Hercules por causa da 3 dele. Estão bufando a Nif mais ainda, velho. Eu ganhei o Satarok, eu montei um deck mais ou menos e consegui ganhar.
Always kind of talked about these ability-based hunters, how they kind of have these slower attack chains because they're more focused on their ability damage. But a hunter is a hunter. You do need to be able to contribute to the late game with your basic attacks mostly. And so even though Neith is very ability-based and is going to use their abilities very often in the middle of a team fight.
Cadê o novo Deus? Vamos ver se eles apresentam hoje.
Having that consistent basic attack damage really helps you be valued for the late game pick. So it's not so much that we're like taking away the identity of her being ability based. It's just we're helping her compete a bit more directly, and then characters with stims, of course, will outpace raw basic attack damage, and that's where the abilities come into supplement. So the other thing is base stats matter a lot because that's what everything works off of. And so if you had 20% increased attack speed, it would be 20% increase on 0.95.
But that is on what?
Yes. So that means that
Vai, meu filho, acelera isso aí.
as well as the base amount that you get per level is
Por que eles não deixam alguém que joga o jogo pra dizer quem deve ser bufado no jogo? Eles dizem que o Pompom joga, né? E aí, com que for, beleza?
Now shows the explode radius. Is that kind of like the Soul 2?
Yeah, it's exactly the Soul 2. It's so now that if it's going to hit a wall, it'll have a line.
Poder de habilidade é um ataque no chão. Ah, eu faço de habilidade.
So
com ataque, enfim.
Cool. So you can actually see the explosion radius as well around. Yep. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so that's Nox. Scotty also going to get a similar treatment to Neith here. Increased base attack speed from 0.9 to 0.95. So just like you explained for Neith, same sort of thing.
Very similar story. She has a lot of things that can help her kind of like deal ability damage, send her pet. Her pet's her unique thing. But at the end of the day, she's still a hunter. She needs to be able to contribute to the team fight with some basic attack synergy and basic attack damage, helping her actually compete with other hunters a bit more directly over the course of a
Olha só o Pelé, o deus do futebol.
And using her pet and her other abilities to really augment that.
Wow, this one I'm excited about. Jubilanque. It's been a while coming, Pop. It's been a while. It's been many years. Many moons into 2018 now. This ability no longer is consumed on poison darts or the mana used when you don't fire a poison dart.
Yeah, so we have a rule which is if you don't benefit from the ability.
Que essa habilidade agora não consome mana ou cooldown.
If it benefits you at all for
se interrompida antes.
Right.
Valeu, Calzone, muito obrigado pela ajuda. Os dados serem lançados, é isso? E aí, Fabrício, beleza? Deu caiu, Bruno. Já mostraram as skins? Mais ou menos, eles vão mostrar ainda dentro do jogo.
No, you sure?
No.
You had this opportunity. No? Okay. I mean, you could have done it. We didn't have to follow through.
I'm pretty sure we're looking at the amount of damage per stack on his passive.
Okay.
We're just looking at that as a whole, making sure the pacing is good. I think there was a change for this patch, although I'm not fully sure, but that's something we're keeping an eye on.
We've got a little bit of time before this patch comes out anyway, so there's a chance that after it's been on PTS, we may get a little bit of an update there. We generally do as well if there's anything that changes as time goes on. So keep an eye on Jubilanque. Still not done, because I did mention there was a couple of Z's. Oh, wait, I just said there's a couple. Oh, no.
Yep,
the first one is the reason why I didn't want aggro on the balance section this week is because he would just be harping on this all day. But yeah, Zeus got...
Caraca, bufaram os Zeus, velho.
Time, boys. You can't stop me from getting involved.
Vai ficar rico com esse touch donate.
Let's go.
Boa nada.
So that's an ex-console player that's
mandei mais.
with the one god that he could play effectively, and this is probably why Zeus got buffed. Or is it?
No, we're looking at Zeus as a character.
Nossa, bufaram os Zeus, cara. A mana do detonar dele de 90 pra 60.
Really like where we'd expect for a character like him to be. And we're just giving him some adjustments to make sure that he competes with other mages right now.
Okay, so Zeus, detonate first of all, as you see on the
Sei
screen,
não,
the
hein?
mana cost is going to come down. It was 90 at all ranks, it's going to be 60.
Yeah, that was
I think
really...
that's a fair fetch.
And that was really draining early.
To be fair, when he used to have the stun, I understood that, but
Sure.
they did take the stun away. No stun for him. We're not doing that. I'm not going to let that happen, trust me. Lightning Storm, however, is going to have an increase of damage. It was 100 to 180, it's now going to be 120 to 200.
Yeah, so now when he tosses out the ultimate,
Yep.
he often, if someone's just running away, they'll get one, maybe
One,
two
two, if you're
ticks.
lucky, yeah.
This will help the damage of that really feel impactful, as well as the situations where you actually get that ult off and you really get people stuck in there, whether it be someone
Caraca, velho, por que estão buffando os Zeus, velho?
Making sure that this feels really impactful when you use it is important. It was a bit underwhelming situation.
Tem uma porrada de Alan com enxável correndo atrás de geral.
In some cases, when
É.
stuck there. So make sure this damage really ramps up and feels like it's an ultimate level ability.
Sure, that's fair.
Por que estão buffando os Zeus,
A
cara?
little bit longer now. You're going to take even more damage with that, especially with the mana cost to detonate too. We'll see how Zeus does. But the final one in the God section.
Zeus começa a pegar kills. Se o Zeus pega 3 kills no começo de partida, ele acabou, velho.
Before we go through these, as you can see, that's the first thing to
Bufar a Belona ainda não.
Yeah, we should probably go through. We should probably list out like all the changes.
Do you want to go through all then?
Olha,
Okay, so
bufar o Zonkui.
20 to 40. However, we're decreasing the protections per stack.
As pernas de Jabó
It
parecem
takes a
quebradas.
lot longer for this to stack up. However, Zhonghui now gains stacks when
Ah,
witnessing
nerfaram o Zonkui, na
no
verdade.
longer gain stacks from consuming marks with exorcism. So the card
Agora ganha
exorcism combo is
stacks.
not required to get stacks.
Yes, that only heals them.
Okay.
Se você matar um
Just focus on
minion,
that now. And not only that, we've decreased the stack loss on death after using the
Passou
ultimate.
rápido.
You used to lose all your stacks and get the bonus protections. Well,
Yep.
now you only lose half. So it used to be 100% loss. Now it's only 50% of those
Yep.
stacks.
não entendi, depois eu
Last
vejo
but not
ele.
least, Book of Demons, which we'll mention too, is going to have an increase on the stun. It used to be 0.5 to 0.9. It's going to get a little longer throughout all the ranks.
E aí, Bruno, é o patch note.
1.1 seconds. A lot of Zhong changes. What's
Salve,
your
Alex,
reason for
beleza?
this? How well is this going to impact it?
So this does a few things. It first off removes one of the most frustrating experiences you have, which is you're like sitting there in the lane, you throw your card, you're getting ready to get your stacks,
Yep.
and then like a cuckoo just ults your lane, and you go, why'd you ult
É,
my
o
lane?
problema é estocar, né,
What
Gustavo?
should you be
Henrique,
doing?
40
You also just took away
stacks,
all my
né?
stacks.
Yes.
It basically, if any teammate was interfering with it, it often removed your ability to get stacks, and having those stacks are super important because those protections are what keeps you alive in the ultimate. So now players have a bit more control over what stacks they're getting by just having and witnessing death similar to the soul.
Aprendam a ler inglês, amigos. Tão simples. Não é tão simples não. Se fosse simples, todo mundo aqui falava inglês.
Trying to use that to
Yeah,
stack
just
very
stack.
quickly, and so you often, like, if you're at full health, you did it anyway because I need the stacks. You didn't necessarily use it for the heal, and that often also removed your card's ability to synergize with the stun to get the extended stun duration. So this also frees up Zhonghui players to really use that card proc how they want to. If they want to heal, if they want more control. That's
Valeu, Gregory.
so it helps remove frustration from Zhonghui players when teammates don't necessarily work with them. And it also
Como assim, novo
means you have
Deus?
more
Ah,
ability
estamos na
to
expectativa aqui.
card proc.
Okay, so you still get the same amount of protections
Yes.
overall. It just takes a little bit longer to get to that max protections.
Yes.
And you don't lose them as quick as you once would. These seem like good changes to him, although I think I'm going to try out support Zhonghui now.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just sat there like getting free passive stacks with my Guardian's Blessing.
Ontem fiz Agnes solo contra a Belona. Perdeu, não é possível.
Choose
Cara.
different things that he wants to do. Mid lane gets it a little bit better because now you have more opportunity to witness death. Often the mages are very quickly clearing, and then you have the mid harpy control, oracles control, back harpy control. Where in solo lane you really only have the wave and maybe blue, and if you're really winning, your back harpy. And then yeah, sure. And then in support situations. No, I don't know if that's gonna work.
I don't know,
but
man.
you
40
can,
protections. I'm
but you
okay
can
with
definitely
that.
witness a lot of deaths over there.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's it for Balance this week. Make sure you give feedback as always.
Esses foram os nerfs e buffs, né?
Eventually, but
Agora eles vão
some
mostrar
people just tuned in
skins,
it.
né?
Who
Enfim.
did well and who didn't this patch? Kukulin and Hachiman, the only ones with real nerfs, but a lot of buffs this patch.
Acho que o buff da Belona vem nos próximos patches ainda. Tá muito cedo. A skin dela ainda vai demorar pra chegar.
Pretty cool stuff.
Good stuff. That's it though for the balance section. It's time to throw back to the Salmon Pants Man. It's aggro alongside for the skins.
First of all, Hindu, they can't even see my salmon pants, so they don't even recognize that reference yet. Whenever we go to the
E aí,
live stream, they'll
Jefferson?
understand. Secondly, can I
Depois a
just
gente vai
say,
ver essa questão de
it's been a
nerfs e
long time
buffs.
coming for Zeus buffs, and I, as well as I know everyone in the Smite community, is very excited about that. 5.9 Dragon's Fortune, one of my favorite patches to date because of that. But we haven't even gotten into the skins, and that's going to be one of the best parts of this patch. And for that, I'm joined on the casual set by Ben, once again, an artist with high res, and a new face, Chris. Welcome into the show, man. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Chris, high res Cinnamons. I'm an FX on Smite, mainly work on skins and stuff. And we have some pretty dope stuff.
Colocaram uns palhaços novos ali pra comentar.
I understand we've got a lot of extra effects going on with a lot of these skins, so excited about that.
Cinnamon? Yeah.
Nice. Is it just like, do you like cinnamon a lot?
Yeah, it's alright, you know.
Spicy?
Yeah, spicy.
Have you ever done the cinnamon challenge?
I did.
How'd you do?
Valeu, John.
That's how it usually goes. Let's get us started then. Nox, that skin we showed off right off the bat.
Vamos ver as skins
A little
então.
bit of an EDM skin here, guys. The Electric Dream Nox. Now, we've done a lot of these skins. Lots of different classes have gotten them, and a lot of people like them. But this is going to be the final EDM skin we do for a little bit. Not completely shelving it, but we're going to take a break from these. So make sure you get this while you can, because you're going to want to be bumping those beats with your friends. Was that hit, guys?
I think that was pretty cool, man.
Okay.
I want to get the skin now.
Yeah.
Eu não quero ver.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, run me through it. This skin looks awesome.
Yeah, so since this is kind of the last one for a little bit, we really want to do something extra special with this one, and we thought...
Só com esses donaires dá pra comprar uma casa, com
wings
certeza.
in this some, like, hollow
Telefone
wings.
tocando.
It's got all the cool bells and whistles that most of the EDM skins have, but we just want to go a little more like with the weapon. It's got the nice like holographic kind of circles and stuff, and the effects are really solid.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it looks awesome. As I just said, you might have heard me say that. I was trying to talk in production. We can't quite.
Se não tiver nenhuma revelação depois das skins no Patch Notes, Patch Note foi uma bosta, vou falar a verdade.
Yeah, the effects on this look great.
Chega de skin, mano.
Yeah, it's always interesting to work on Nox because she has a lot of the things that she uses are just
Chega de skin.
very expensive, so it's hard to keep it below, a reasonable amount when it comes to like shader complexity.
Oh,
and stuff.
the technical. I love the technical.
That's dope. This is the most underrated part of any Nox skin. The color that she changes the god that she jumps into, but that is that changes color along with her. So even if you're
Asa estragou a skin, concordo.
their EDM skin, you can kind of make them their own version of an EDM skin.
Yeah, really bump it up.
There's the ultimate
Sei pra
there
que asa.
for you as well. Looks really awesome. Love the little beats that usually go along with these EDM skins and when they use their abilities and that kind of stuff. Let's take a listen to the voice pack. Oh yeah, we got the VXG.
There's the VXG.
She's jamming, and this will go along with all the other skins like this.
Oh yeah. Hopefully we'll take a look at that in a minute. There's an animator that worked on this VXG specifically, Esteban. He did a great job on it.
It's dope dance for sure.
Oh, she's singing.
That's dope. Yeah, I'm really liking the vibe we're getting from that right there. Let's take a listen to the voice pack.
Yes! You're the illest. Totally awesome. I know how to rage. Do you even know what song this is?
Para de lançar skin.
The echoey nature.
Yeah, she's got that T-Pain going on.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, T-Pain, a little bit there. Plus, like, it just kind of fits with like Nox in general. She's a little bit more mysterious and darkness oriented, while still bringing the EDM flavor. We still kind of kept that in there.
Still singing.
Still singing. Yeah, she's going on, man. I love it. That's really, really cool. There you have it, guys. Your Electric Dream Nox. Again, that will combine beautifully with your other EDM skins. You can get the best dance party of all time, going in the mid lane or wherever you choose to group up with your friends. Next up is going to be Dragon Queen Scylla, as I mentioned, 5.9 update. It's Dragon's Fortune. That's the name of the update, and Scylla, big reason why. This one, part of the event that we're doing, correct? The what is that? The Celestial something. Slipping my mind right now. But either way, Dragon.
Salve Vitor Ferreira, beleza?
At you here. This one as well. I think that Scylla has a lot of those skins that, her base model, it's a little bit. She's a tiny little girl, not scary at all. But I love the armor that's on this already.
Yeah.
Yep. So we always thought it'd be cool to do dragons. I mean, she's always got the dogs. That's cool and everything, but that's not menacing. It's friendly, right? So we're like, let's do something badass with this one and go with the dragon route. So we try to give a lot more like a royal dragon queen kind of feel, because you can't really do too much with her because she's a little girl, but you can kind of do a dragon princess kind of thing, and it works well. Again, the dragons are like, to me, the selling point of this skin. They came out really dope.
Yeah, if you don't like dragons, what do you like?
There's something wrong with you, man.
Yeah.
Like
everyone wanted to be Lance playing Pokemon. Like he was the cool one. I love these dragons, man. That's a really cool. Also, gotta say, green, my favorite color. Love the green undertones in this skin. It definitely has that like sort of menacing while still having the rest of it going on. There's the ultimate for you guys. Truly a monster with the dragons there.
Wow.
It's magic fire is the green. That's where it's coming from. You know, it's like it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
I really like these stylized effects on this. I think they really fit it pretty well.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool. Love the magic fire going from the mouths of the dragons, even those that aren't being used along the side there. Showing off a little bit, Pon, with the nice little quad kill.
I think she's got a... Does she have a VXG?
I believe she does. I believe she does.
Run that VXG.
Ooh.
Oh, she sits, dude.
Oh,
so it's like a dragon throne, right?
Wow.
That's so cool.
She's just chilling, dude.
Yeah.
Holy, that's what... Oh, you can't walk around in that? That's probably for the best. It would be too much swag for everyone to handle.
He's so dope.
I
was
hoping it.
Skin.
I was hoping because there's one dragon that's missing. I was thinking maybe he'd be the one like pushing you around. You know,
that's a lot of work though. Man. I mean, you gotta. Usually it's a 4-man team down
Chega
there.
disso.
Whatever gets
Porque ele sempre usa o Odin como bot, não sei, cara.
Oh man, I gotta move everyone again while everyone else is sitting up with Scylla. That's a really, really, really cool VXG. Also have a voice pack for you here, guys. Let's take a quick listen after Pon gets done styling on people.
All right, we get it. Quadra kill. Good job.
Chega de skin.
Brilliant! How magical. I'm a real Draco. Back off, stranger. We aren't here to play. I'm ready to take on the title.
Yeah, we got that Nox, the Nox music still going on.
She wants to be heard.
Yeah, of course,
okay,
yes.
she's singing, man.
She's like, you guys better be getting that Electric Dream Nox skin.
Que o Odin é pai de todos, será?
Advertising right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Like, you'll be hearing that in your sleep.
Caraca, meu pai lança skin, velho. Ai, que chato.
Noises of Nox's dance. Of course, that will not happen. That's just a little bit of a thing we got to work out before we...
Sila foguete neles.
There's always some
E aí, Charles Lima.
It's a feature, not a bug. Yeah. You really have to...
Já deu do sonho essas skins, velho. Na moral.
You gotta pay extra for that feature.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you guys...
Parece sem asa, só vender roupa.
Now you've got that Electric Dream Nox that can haunt your dreams forever.
Nem eles estão gostando dessas skins. Nem eles estão gostando dessas skins.
But so far, man, first of all,
olha a cara desse daqui, ó, do da direita aqui, ó. Eita, assim, mano, o que eu tô fazendo aqui?
At least in me.
Nem eles estão gostando, velho.
This Dragon Queen Scylla alongside the Sobek skin that we're going to be
E aí, Huntley, beleza?
part of that event, part of the Slavic part of our event. These are going to be skins that work well together.
That's right.
Sobek sets up beautifully for Scylla in game as well as
Nox mandando gemidos ao vivo. Bugou o patch. O Vice Pack dela bugou.
I mean, I don't want to make you spoil anything so far. We haven't seen that one quite yet. So what else can you tell us about the two skins we have seen so far?
I mean, it's just a lot of work, man. The EDM stuff, it's like those are great. Like, it's a great like kind of theme that we have with that. But like, I mean, just as far as an artist making it, it's like so much work. Each of those like those effects that happens, like it's a whole different kind of materials change. So like the workload for the EDMs is way more than most skins.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's why with this last one, we were like, all right, man, let's really dial it up and do as the best we can. Like if you look at the skin, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on besides the wings. The wings are the easy thing.
Sure.
So you got the little like candle thing with like little spheres. That's really cool. But like on her like her body, the dress has got this like flashy stuff going on. You know, when you buy the skin, take a look at it for a minute, breathe it all in, you know?
Take a moment, appreciate
there's a lot that goes into it.
For sure. In the effects on the EDM skins, as well as even the Dragon Queen Scylla skin, Chris, it looks like the attention to detail has got to be there, especially for these event skins that we're trying to make really cool.
Yeah, we really stepped it up in the past few months.
Lançaram agora de novo, não sabemos, não sei não.
It's always a really good excuse to kind of take it to the next level, like turn it up a bit, so it's always a good time.
All right, well, next one up on the list is going to be Soothsayer.
Comprei fone para me comunicar com vocês. Aí sim, né?
Check out that. Actually, maybe didn't get to hear that voice pack for the Scylla because Nox was
te aguardo lá às 18 horas.
There. So let's go back and take a listen.
Obnoxious. I get that.
Nice,
That's good.
Ben, you're on your way to being a caster already, my friend. You're killing it so far. Let's take a listen to that Scylla voice pack.
Show you who's boss. Back off, stranger. We aren't here to play. Or are we? What do you get when a dragon doesn't bathe? Dragon flies. God, I hate myself.
Valeu, hello. How Violet Sorcerers.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. That was me.
You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't want to take away from it.
Que isso,
All right,
velho?
that's your Dragon Queen Scylla.
Ah, mano, que chato ficar vendo
Let's go
essas
to
skins, velho.
Soothsayer the Morrigan. As I mentioned during our little preview, as Morrigan, you get to transform and be any cool skin you want, but you gotta have a cool skin for the times that Changeling isn't available. And Soothsayer, really awesome. I'm a big fan of the last year's ranked reward Morrigan skin. Can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's gonna be tough to beat that one.
Because
Maybe the thief?
No, it's like
Pale
the
Raven.
yeah, the Raven one. Yeah, that one. I love that Morrigan skin, but I'm already really digging the look in this. Look at the horns.
Yeah, so with this one, we wanted to add a little more color and a little, like, so it's the Slavic chest stuff, right?
Salve, Johnny,
basically,
Damien.
this is the one that we really try to get a lot of the Slavic kind of, like, culture and, like, colors, the themes they have. It's very, like, gypsy-like.
Sure.
But, yeah, we really want to push a little bit of color in this one and do some more exotic, an exotic look.
E Robson, beleza?
The color composition, the effects artist that worked on this, Edward, he has an excellent grasp of color composition.
Parece uma druida.
Yeah, I love just the auto attacks. Those are beautiful.
Yeah.
The red and blue mixed together really well.
It's beautiful.
There's your stun there. 3 aspects. Very nice. Oh, I'm getting messed up there. Ooh, I love that too.
It's so good. Wow.
Love that little effect.
I think there's a... Is there a VXG? Are we doing VXGs and all these guys?
Mano, na moral,
Yeah,
velho.
there is a VXG here.
A Raela só tem gente inútil trabalhando nela, velho. As skin feia pra caramba. Quem vai comprar essas merda? Manda pra mim os códigos, Raela. Que eu vou
So a lot
sortear.
of times with these birds, we kind of do a kind of a because it works for most of the skins. But this one, we gave him a little bit of flavor. I'm not sure if you can see it, but he's got a new haircut. He's got a little glyph on his chest. And he
E aí,
has,
Hitsu, ia perder muita coisa, perder nada. Só
match,
nerf, buff, skin, essas porcaria
colors
aqui.
that she has.
Look at that
Oh,
slow
look, there he is. Oh, nice,
Wow.
nice camera work though. That was like that was
Yeah,
cinematic, man.
it's cinematic.
The slow mo was happening right there, you know.
Looking good. Looking good there.
Oh, there we
Kinda,
go.
A little bit less Raven-like. Kind of.
Ninguém nem vai prestar atenção nessa porcaria desse corvo aí, ó.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Ninguém
Look at
presta
that.
atenção nessa
That's
merda
smooth.
aí.
Wow.
Coisa idiota, velho.
So fancy.
Looking good there. Excuse me, my allergies are getting to me a little bit.
These skins are
Tearing
too
up a
much
little
from us.
I know,
The
I
skins
know.
are
It's
just really.
it's so beautiful,
He's
guys. I
swelling
just
up over there.
Oh, what is
Teve
that?
nerf no F oscila não, não
Soothsayer the
teve.
Morrigan, really awesome there. Excuse me. Of course, the ultimate. I'm gonna be changing it into different skins, but that is your base version. Wow, I thought that was risky from Pon. I was
Yeah.
nervous there.
Yeah.
Estou com
Changing the
ódio.
Odin bot.
Se você ganhar código da Morgan, você me dá. Falei, ironia. Se você for VIP, eu posso pensar, talvez. Não sei, gente. Tem muita gente pra dar skin ali ainda.
All right, yeah, I'll take a listen to the voice pack. Of course, Soothsayer the Morrigan.
Yes, yes, yes! Look at you go! Fantastic! We live by our own rules. I see you running away in the near future.
Já ganhou skin, Lógica Geek?
In dreams.
If
If you are planning to become excited, you should stop now because we don't see a future in it for you.
Teve nerf na Discord, não?
Okay, I'm back.
Garota
Hi, Ben and
gamer.
Chris.
Hey, what's
Hey.
up, man?
No, I'm not bad. How about you guys?
Yeah, pretty good.
Aggro
pretty
is just overcome with emotion about the Zeus buff that he's lost his voice midway.
Garota
through, so
gamer.
I'm back for the final skin for you all. We've got one more to go, and you guys, this one looked good. From
Oh,
this,
has
this
Garota
is
gamer
Dragon
chato.
Flight. Sobek is the next one for you all at home. That axe is massive.
Não
Does it
custa
need to get any
tentar.
bigger?
Oh yeah, man.
The
Always
fuck?
bigger is always better, man.
Just have to
Jogou Left 4 Dead 2 já
My
sim.
wife says that to me too.
Speaking of bigger, just take a look at the frame on this guy when you see him in there, man.
All right. I'm looking forward to
Ciro chato pra caralho, só reclama, foda-se. A live é minha, eu reclamo quando eu quiser. Se você não quiser ler as minhas reclamações, ouvir as minhas reclamações, vai assistir a live do Incon, que ele é felizão.
So
Segue sem ser vulgar.
This guy-
Garota gamer. Garota gamer.
we realized that
Garota
Sobek, you know, he's kind of like
Garota gamer.
almost like a
Garota
caricature kind of
gamer.
esque character. Like he's a little more stylized than a lot of the other ones that exist now. So
Tem que
we
ter
wanted
decor.
to do
Falei,
something where
Robson.
we gave him a little bit more kind of
Bora fazer um detonado de Dragon's
more
Dogma, você é
impressive
doido que a
feel
jogo é
to it,
grande
right?
pra caralho, né?
So we did an adjustment to the rig and some of the animations. This has been like a big overhaul to his upper body.
Skin Sobek foi legal.
He's like stood up.
Yeah, man.
Now,
It's Swoleback, man. He's been in the gym.
Why didn't we name him Swoleback? That'd have been so good.
Well, you know, we'll give him a bodybuilder skin with the same kind of frame in the next one. We'll do that for you, man. They get a little mom tattoo and everything, you know.
Spoiler alert.
But we wanted to really go ahead and like kind of really make it more impressive and take this out as an opportunity to make a real badass Sobek.
Virou meme, garota gamer. Garota gamer.
Yeah, these effects are like really awesome. They're nice and bright. Look super scary when you're getting hit by them. It's all good.
Tu usa sutiã? Eu não, cara.
And they're lurking in the waters.
The ult is so good.
Is breaking beneath them too.
Yeah, we're gonna hope to use this kind of skin as the framework for other potential skins with this kind of like size and all that.
Awesome.
One of the riggers, Veronica, she worked on this. Like she did a
Nossa, meu PC vai travar na hora que eu usar essa skin.
Making this badass.
E aí, Chavers, Reverse, beleza?
Like that, and like, you know, you say you look at that tech future. Is that for other gods as well, or just for the?
Yeah. Valeu, Gregory.
I don't want to put you in a pigeonhole. I just want to clear up
no,
the
okay. Put me on the spot. It's cool, man. It's cool. So basically, if we feel like there's an opportunity to like improve a character, and maybe like we're doing a skin, and it's just like.
Valeu, Alex. Muito obrigado, cara.
Like,
garota gamer, garota gamer. Fala aí, Zagoza. Garota
doesn't really
gamer.
work for the impressive nature of this guy, you know. So if we have an opportunity, and you know, production-wise, we can afford it. We try to do that when we can.
All right. Well,
we want to go the extra mile
Muito brilho, né?
to get those gems. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm warning you now. The problem is you're gonna have that issue in the future where everyone's like, "Yo, make this dude even bigger."
You gotta appreciate it when it comes in. We can't do it for everybody.
Okay.
But appreciate them when they're here, man.
That's to be clear. Well, let's listen to the voice pack then for the final skin of this week.
Well played. Well played.
Garota gamer, garota gamer. Preciso me tornar uma garota gamer, cara. O que eu posso fazer pra me tornar uma garota gamer? Garota gamer, cara.
Only fools rush into combat.
Preciso me tornar uma garota gamer, cara. Preciso me tornar uma garota gamer, cara. Garota gamer.
Very good. Very good. I'm back.
Que droga tu usa pra não dormir vendo Pet Notes? Eu me tornei uma garota gamer. Agora eu sou uma garota gamer. Garota gamer. Agora eu sou uma garota gamer. Começou meio-dia.
That is the coolest part of any skin for me so far this patch is that ult. There, of course, that's
eu não sei, vamos jogar, não sei como resolver não.
Agora
eu sou uma garota gamer, cara.
That does it for the skins, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here on the casual couch here for the casters. That's all we have for you guys. We also have Hindu Man again. He stepped in for me, and now he's back on the desk with Isaiah to talk about some esports stuff.
O que fazem as garotas gamers? Eu quero ser uma garota gamer.
Just can't happen. Isaiah, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm not bad.
Kenan e Kel. Tu é
Tu
careca, não?
Esports and community with you all. And first thing to mention is esports-wise for Smite specifically. If you didn't watch Masters LAN this weekend, you made mistakes.
Yeah, so, they missed the treat.
Past weekend.
That's some of the best Smite.
Passando muito tempo com Wagner é foda.
How about those grand finals?
I know, very competitive. Went all the games too. I won't spoil it too much. Go back and watch it if you've not, just so you see who's in and who's out. The meta at the moment and what the pro players are doing.
Ficou careca vendo skins. What the fuck?
Going on starting tomorrow, 11 AM. Make sure you tune in for that. We get to see the best from North America and Europe take part in double elimination, just like Masters LAN, and we'll find out who.
Achei machista sua garota gamer.
I'm excited to watch the box boys.
Garota gamer, garota gamer.
Obviously, you hear from the
Eu
community.
preciso ser uma garota gamer, cara.
What goodies we got this week?
Garota
We better
gamer.
have some.
Yeah, we've definitely got some goodies. So alongside the awesome console run that's going on.
Olha o clipe que mandei no Discord pra você, mais tarde eu dou uma olhada, Ironia. Agora eu não vou abrir o Discord não, cara.
If you get 3 first wins of the day, you'll get 30 gems for a total of up to 90 gems this weekend.
Okay, cool.
So if you're, saving up the gems, you want that awesome Sobek skin, we got you covered.
Get you a little bit closer to getting hold of that one. Nicely done.
That's right.
So we've got that going on as well, and also Divine Dominance.
That's right.
What's that?
This is super exciting. So if you guys aren't familiar with the new Divine Uprising event that started in 5.8, we've got 3 new gods from 3 new pantheons.
Tá transando o controle,
So
credo.
with each update that a new god is released, we're going to be hosting a new competition called
Eu queria ter a felicidade sua da Rarez. Eles ganham pra ser felizes. Eles fingem ser felizes, né?
So you actually want people to just like
Garota gamer,
Exactly. Yeah, if you got a pentakill that you want to show off, make sure you submit it to us.
Não posso me tornar a garota gamer. São quantos metapoints para participar do sorteio? O sorteio de hoje vai ser 10.000 metapoints.
Divine Dominance. We're going to be sharing plays each and every day. So we want to see what you guys got.
Just to check, I mean, is that for like plays around anyone in the game or Chernobog specifically?
Chernobog specifically for this one. Yep. And then when the new gods come out in the Divine Uprising, we'll host another Divine Dominance competition.
I mean, what it links is Baron Samedi and Pele, right?
Yes.
As well.
You guys get ready. We got some awesome stuff coming up.
Hopefully Pele in time for the World Cup. That'd be nice.
Oh yeah.
All right, sort of timing there.
Precisa mostrar os peitos, dançar no início do vídeo e para divulgar o vídeo postar uma foto bem sexy. Onde é o meme garota gamer? Não, eu só quero me tornar uma garota gamer, cara. Meu sonho. Não posso? Eu quero me tornar, é meu sonho. Boa tarde, João Pedro. Namoraria uma garota gamer? Eu não.
No, just stay awesome.
Stay awesome.
Tem que carregá-las nas minhas partidas, brincadeiras, zoeiras aqui. Acabou o patch note? Não. Eu não esperei, eu não deixei de almoçar pra ver isso. Não. Fomos enganados novamente, cara. Ai meu Deus do céu, até quando eu vou ser enganado pela level up no Hi-Res? Até quando a Hi-Res vai me enganar? Até quando a Hi-Res vai me enganar? Não teve nada nesse patch note, cara. Falei, Felipe Santos. Não teve nada, cara. Não teve nada nesse patch note, cara. Teve nada nesse patch note, cara. Que vergonha. Não teve nada. Não teve nada de interessante nesse patch note, Senhor, me ajuda. Fomos enganados novamente, né? Fazer o quê? Ó, Demi Brandon já tweetou aqui, ó. Demi Brandon já foi esperto, ó. Então, hoje, Hi-Res The Baron deveria entrar em operação para falar sobre como o Smite está falhando e quais os passos que a Hi-Res está tomando para remediar isso. Em vez disso, ele me deu uma desculpa esfarrapada e me bloqueou. Então, a Hi-Res me suspendeu de Smite por 3 dias por briefing de partida. Eles deram ban no Demi Brandon? Eles deram ban no Demi Brandon? Eles deram ban 3 dias no Demi Brandon? Vou lá ver a live dele. Eles deram ban de 3 dias no Demi Brandon? No twitch.tv/tvserious. A gente se vê lá às 18 horas. Mais tarde tem vídeo novo no canal. A gente se vê lá também. Então é isso. Muito obrigado a todo mundo que assistiu. Todo mundo teve paciência. Infelizmente nós fomos enganados pela Hi-Res e não teve nada de interessante hoje no patch note. Mas a gente vai ficar aí por dentro das tretas, né? Enfim. Fazer o quê? Até 18 horas. Um abraço. Valeu. Fui. Eu vou matar a Hi-Res.